Hello, welcome to another video, and today we're looking at some single cable pull exercises and some variations of it and how they start out pretty simple and can get quite complicated as we go on. So let's have a look at the first one. This one we're just basically standing still, and I'm quite upright, but I'm in this split stance position. And there's that, you can see this quite obviously, there's a nice bit of rotation, but not really a lot going on with the legs. Alright, so this is very simple. This is a great one to still use at the beginning. Now once I get the hang of this, and you'll see I'm just about to do this, is where I can start to add the weight shift. So very much like the pushing variations that we saw in one of the early videos, this is pretty much just the opposite of. This really uses the posterior sling, where the other ones, the pushing ones, are using the anterior sling. So this is where we're working with the lats on my right hand here through the glutes on my left leg. Now once I start to include more rotation, as I'm about to do here, where I've added the weight shift, I just get that little bit extra thoracic mobility, but also hip rotation as well. So you can see here as my right leg is now pointing this way, so you can see my feet had to roll around, and as I come backward, now I'm externally rotating my hips, and now it's facing this way. Alright, so you can see how I had to have, so going from all the way right around to there and then back again, almost like a golf swing. So a lot more core involvement, a lot more mobility required. Not that it's superior to the other one, in many ways it is, but the other one's still good. So now is where I can start to incorporate a bit of leg strengthening, so actually demanding, instead of the legs just pushing backward, now actually creating a lot more force. And with the cable, one other thing here, with the cable quite high, so you can see coming on this angle, it actually favours my legs because I don't need all the force to push myself back up. If the cable was down here and coming up, that even with the weight stacked the same, it's significantly greater because there's like a gravity thing, so where it's pushing me down, so my muscles having to create more force to push away from it. So when you're first learning it, it's much easier to do this, and especially if you're struggling with the lunge or just getting the positioning right and the timing right. So now you'll see as I move into the more complicated ones, I'm going to lower that cable now, and it's actually more preferential here, just because it positions you and it starts to get like a little bit more of a bending action involved, which you'll see shortly. Alright, so I'm still quite upright on this, so there's a lot of quads here, and you see I'm sort of quite upright. There's nothing wrong with it, it's quite fine. It's just if I want to get more out of the sling, I do really want to encourage the bending action. And you'll start to see here how my other arm starts to really get more involved as each variation gets harder. See my back hand really reaching back, all right, which is very much like what we would do when we're running. So it almost looks like a running action. And this is where you start to see how I've had to bend over so I can get more leverage into my glutes. I can't do this version upright. I just would fall backwards all the time. So obviously balance is a real factor, but the strength demand is significantly greater than that split stance lunge. You can see how my arms really rotating, and also one other thing here, notice how my foot tucked in. I see a lot of people kick their foot out here. All that makes them do is go backward with their body. It's like a counter lever, so I need to really shorten the lever of my leg. If I have that foot coming out here, I'm increased the lever, which makes it more unstable. So I get way more strength benefits to my left leg here by keeping that foot tucked in. Alright, so see me do some on the right side. I'm significantly stronger on my right leg, by the way, so I find this heaps easier on this side. And again, look at the arm action, so you can see how the arm and the leg are perfectly in sync with each other. See how they're going back at exactly the same time, coming forward at the same time. Alright, so this is very highly functionally carrying over to running and walking. The problem with it is that it's significantly difficult to get right. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at a bit more of an advanced version, where now it's a lot more on the move. All right, so now I've added a dumbbell to this. So, and you'll also notice I'll take quite a short step, where the ones before I had my foot was like right out in front of me, so I was sort of in this stance there. Now I've got like a really short step because I'm going to go quite quickly, but I need to have that bent over action. And again, with the arm with the dumbbell, you'll see how it gets involved with that swinging action. So now as much as the strength to push up, I now need even more force because I've got to be fast enough to step backward. All right, so see, I'll step and then I bend. So there's my sling, really loaded up on this left leg, right hand. You just can't quite see because the two legs look in the way. And then as I push back really quickly, the momentum of the dumbbell sort of helps me to really get the momentum through the hips to drive up and back. All right, so you can see as it's like a pendulum swinging. So as it swings right back, there you go, and I get better and better at it as I go along. All right, so that's even though it doesn't look hard because it's in slow-mo, it's significantly much more tiring than the other versions from before. All right, so now when I go to my weaker leg with the right hand, the left leg steps forward, I've got to get that bending action, and then I've got to get that step back pull. All right, so only a very small step, so I've got to get the bent over action, really ripping it back. It's kind of like a bicep curl at the top. The more I get the dumbbell swinging back, the easier it will be for my legs and to get that timing that I'm looking for to make it more efficient. All right, so there's several versions of the cable pull. The best way to learn these is basically in the order that this video was shown, and just stop at the one that you struggle with, and then once you've mastered it, move on to the next one. All right, so I hope you enjoy that video. It gives you a few ideas on how to incorporate, and basically this counters the pushing stuff because there was quite a few that I included, and there's a lot of questions as why what pulling ones would I use. So, which I have done these before, but not necessarily in this order. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.